Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadguruntam Namami. Nithyanandam, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode on Nithyananda TV. I am Srinitya Brahma Sukhananda Maharaj, and we have with us our co-host, Paramashivoham Maharaj, Nithyananda Maharaj.
Yeah.
How are you, Maharaj? How are you doing today?
Good.
Great. So another exciting episode we are bringing, and awesome discussions we are having quickly, and even the viewers are involving, and it's so good to see the participation of the viewers.
Yes.
Maharaj. Yes. So today's topic, Maharaj, it is Hindu history, right?
Yes.
So we are bringing to you the topic of today, that is Hindu history. Yesterday we talked about Hindu identity, right? The power of Hindu identity. Now, I was thinking that any discussion on Hindu identity will be incomplete if we don't talk about Hindu history.
True.
Right? Because history is the bedrock on which our identity is established. Our past really is the foundation of our identity.
Yeah.
So even if we talk about the Hindu identity, Hindu history naturally makes sense to talk about the Hindu history.
Yes.
Right? You want to add something about it, Maharaj?
Yes, Maharaj. Hindu history, like our Hindu identity comes from our Hindu history. It's not, like we mentioned yesterday also, it's not something that we build from our parents or just our grandparents or just few generations. It goes from the time humanity exists. That is how far the Hindu history goes. So Hindu history is very much relevant to Hindu identity.
Identity.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Why history? What is there in history? Right? So the basic fundamental point which we are trying to make. In fact, before we come to that point, even the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, in his recent Satsang, he addressed this very important point. He's made a very important statement that nations who don't care about their history, they even lose their geography. Even if they have the geography, they even lose it. So it is very important to first care about your history. And the nations who care about their history, even if they don't have geography, or even if they have lost their geography, they can get the geography. Yes. So that establishes how, the importance of history, how important history is for you as an individual or even at a nation's level to even think about any future, right? So the fundamental point here is that history is directly linked with your identity.
Yeah.
Right? It forms the basis of your identity. So, for example, if we are taught the right history about us, the right past about us, let's not even first, let's talk about as an individual. If I have a completely wrong and powerless cognition about my past, that will naturally affect my identity and inner image.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And if I have a very powerful cognition about my past, if I look at my past in a very powerful way, I get a very powerful feeling, a very positive feeling, a very proud feeling about my past. So naturally that will help in building a positive inner image inside me.
Yes.
Right? So directly how I look at my past is affecting how I look at me in my present moment.
Yes, Maharaj, very much true. As you're saying that how my own history, like my own past, affects me in the present. That is the same way we have to see what we are coming from. That is the problem. So when we are naturally seeing that there is some powerlessness in the past, like for example, the Hinduism itself, if you see, like when you do not believe that you are from a very powerful source, you start getting powerless. You stop believing in Hinduism. You stop believing in the life that you are living because you do not even know the history. You do not know from where it is coming. You do not know the source of what you're living. So you naturally start feeling powerless. You start feeling that what you are living is not the right way of living, and you stop getting into all kinds of powerless thought currents.
Yes, exactly. Because even if I look at as an individual level, if I have a very very dull, powerless and negative feeling about my past, So naturally that will put me into a lot of self-doubt right now, right, in my present moment, which in turn will naturally affect my future. It is going to adversely affect my future. If in the present moment I am having a very powerless image about me. I'm having extreme self-doubt. In every action I'm doubting myself because I don't see myself coming from a very, very powerful nature or this or that, that kind of thing. So naturally it's going to affect my future.
Yes.
Right. Yes. And at the same time, if it's coming in a very powerful sense and giving me a very powerful identity in the present moment, naturally my future will be good.
Yes.
Right? Because I'm going to then act accordingly. Each and every one of my actions will be from that powerful identity. Same thing, if we just put this into the perspective of Hinduism, or how a Hindu sees himself or herself, the Hindu identity, how we are taught about Hinduism, where it comes from, that naturally builds a certain kind of a Hindu identity amongst us.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it is not at all powerful. It has put us in a lot of self-doubt and self-hatred. Why? How it happened, we'll come to that.
Yeah.
But main point is, because of that self-doubt, self-hatred, and extreme inferiority complex we are having, right? Extreme inferiority complex. We look at like everything Hindu, we look down upon it.
Yes.
And imitate anything else, anything foreign, anything external, Western, blindly. Yes. Just copying the West. We also talked about it a couple of episodes before, right?
Yes.
So all of this comes from an extreme inferiority complex and extreme self-hate. Why is this there? Because we have been taught the wrong Hindu history, the wrong ideas about us, our ancestors, where we come from. Complete false narrative.
Yes.
Right? And that naturally is affecting how we are building our future from now on. Right? It's going to be, it's quite natural, right? If we are, if from the past we are coming in a very powerless way, present is also powerless, future is also going to be powerless.
That is very much natural. So if you are having a powerless past, you are going to be having a powerless present if you are not going to decide ferociously to change it. But here it is not even a powerless past. Here it is already a powerful past. This is the source itself is like of the entire universe. That is the source of the whole universe. So because the only thing is, here you do not believe that, you do not know that, you do not even feel that is a powerful past that we have had, the powerful Hindu history that is there, because you do not even know that is the reason the identity which we are living right now, we feel that is the wrong identity. We feel that there is something wrong with the way I'm living. That is why we try to look for other solutions, other ways of living, which is not necessary at all, like we discussed in the modernization versus westernization episode.
Exactly.
So that is like so much relevant to what we are looking at today.
Because we feel uprooted. We don't even feel really grounded in our own identity, in our own Hindu identity, right? And now why has it happened? Let's get to the case study, right? What happened really with the Hindus? Why is it the way it is right now, right? So basically what happened during the last 1,000, 2,000 years, so much of genocide and Hindu Holocaust Hindus have faced by the hands of the Hindu Messiah forces, the anti-spiritual gang, constantly, continuously, consistently trying to literally kill and eliminate the Hindu population from the planet Earth. Now, once they even killed and genocided, after that, this started a new kind of a phase of a psychological subversion, a psychological warfare. First you kill, and then you completely brainwash the remaining people also that something even happened. And not only that, worse than that, make them believe that it was their mistake.
Yeah, that is the worst way. So when you have not done any mistake, and they make you believe that because of you only this happened.
Yes, exactly.
Because
something was wrong with
more than because of you, it is because of what you are following. Because you are following Hinduism, this happened to you. Then naturally what happens? They start losing their own belief.
They started hating him.
They started hating him. Yes, exactly. That is what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Even during the British era in India, we all know this famous story, right? Macaulay, the person, he had this policy, education policy, where he had this vision, so-called vision for them to basically brainwash Indian kids into believing that their own culture, their own roots are somehow inferior, and making them and destroying their Hindu identity and making them completely follow the Western, and at the same time it was the English identity, so to say. So that he even quotes that in his document, in his proposal on the new education policy for India. He says that I want Indians to be just Indian in flesh and blood. I'm paraphrasing, but Englishmen in their thoughts. And that's exactly what happened. The education system that was created after that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Actually, there is more to it, Maharaj. It's more than just he wanting to give their identity. He wanted to destroy the Hindu identity first. So actually, he did a lot of research on it. Actually, he like so many hundreds of years already the attack, and they were not. So he did a deep study on it, and he found out that the Gurukul system was the whole source of the Hindu identity, because what was holding the Hindu identity was the Gurukul system and the Guru Shishya Parampara. And because of the Gurus only, the Gurukul was running, and because of that only, the Hindu identity was kept powerful. So many invasions, so many times the Somnath temple was destroyed. I think 17 times the Somnath temple was destroyed. Even after so many times attacked, the only thing that was standing was the Gurukul system of education. That is the one which is like rooting the children into the powerful identity, which is the Hindu identity.
Yes, even when it gets destroyed or disturbed or subverted, they had the gurus, Hindu gurus had the power to revive it, right? Reignite it.
Yes, correct, Maharaj. So that is what was there. And he did the research. My colleague did the research on this. Then he found out that the Gurukul system was the one which was there, which was having the problem. And they started creating this kind of a lifestyle where like Hindus won't get jobs. If you study in a Hindu family, they will make sure that you're not getting any jobs. So naturally, what started happening, they, in a very psychological way, they played a psychological warfare, which we were discussing 2 days ago. They played that kind of a game, and they like stopped people from going to the Gurukuls. They destroyed the Gurukuls in different ways, and they started doing this kind of a mind game, I should say. This kind of a different mind game. They started
incentivizing Gurukul education and incentivizing the colonial education.
Yes.
So naturally, it slowly, gradually destroying the entire Gurukul education system of the Hindus in India. It's complete collapse of the Gurukul education, the Hindu education, the indigenous Hindu education, which was really like all over India. You'd see thousands and thousands. Every village had a Gurukul.
Yes.
You know, and kids from all walks of life, all castes, all genders, everyone was studying.
Just to add one more point, Maharaj. So here, if you see Ramayana, if you see Mahabharata, or any Hindu epic, any Hindu history, like Hindu stories, anything you see, everywhere, all the children, every great being over there, they would have gone to the Gurukul education system.
True.
Whether it is Krishna, Rama himself, Sri Ramchandra Prabhu, every single person, even enlightened masters went to the Gurukul system of education.
Swamiji went.
Swamiji himself, yes, Swamiji himself, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism himself, went through. He lived in an ecosystem which supported the Gurukul system of education.
He's still singing the glory of his gurus.
Guru Shishya Parampara. He was taught by so many different gurus. His whole life is enriched with so many different multiple gurus. So if you see system of education,
exactly.
So without we should realize that first we should see when was the time that we were successful. When was it, when we were in Gurukul system of education or after the KAILASA system of education? That is like, if you see the difference, that is really very lot of differences there.
Exactly. If we even look at the data, the statistics, when the Hindu population, the Hindu civilization was at the peak of prosperity, richness, knowledge, all dimensions of life, it was at the same time, as you said, when the Gurukul system was at the peak.
Yes.
When all the Gurukuls and the Hindu Gurukuls and Hindu universities all were functioning at the peak.
Yes.
They were literally generating brilliant geniuses, in all fields of life.
Yes.
And they were contributing in each and every dimension.
Yes. So the Enlightenment ecosystem, you can say like that.
Yes.
Like one place which has the Gurukul, Goshala, temple, library, and then the Annalaya. These makes one Enlightenment ecosystem. These are the base of one Enlightenment ecosystem. Anyone who was from this one Enlightenment ecosystem, you can say that will be the best person who is coming out to the world. So this is the base in the Hinduism.
Yes.
What I just told was the base in the Hinduism.
That's how you nurture the Hindu identity in a child.
So all this put together will nurture the child, will groom the child, which will make them bloom like a flower.
Yes.
That is the source.
Yes. That's how the Enlightenment ecosystem, the Hindu Enlightenment ecosystem, was kept alive for thousands and thousands of years. In fact, even the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said that the Hinduism is nothing but Guru Shishya Parampara, right? Just this Hindu ecosystem, gurukul ecosystem, in which from the enlightened master to disciple to disciple to disciple, this enlightenment science is kept alive through initiation, through diksha, right? Literally triggering. I mean, I'll use a word that you used yesterday, right? Triggering the Hindu identity in the child, the superconscious identity in a young child, and making them manifest the superconscious DNA, that is the real identity in them, making them experience oneness with Paramashiva. That is in fact the Hindu identity that we are talking about. Such a strong, powerful identity. Colonizers, it's not just for Hindus, Maharaj. Everywhere we see so many of case studies after case studies, so many of indigenous populations. That's how they have been destroyed.
Yes, Maharaj.
Basically, just targeting their indigenous education system. Just get the kids out of the reach of their parents and teachers, the indigenous teachers and their parents. Somehow get them out of their grip and send them to their schools, the schools of the colonizers. That's it. Over. That's how we have seen again and again. No need to name anyone, nothing. But we have seen case study after case study. That's what has really happened in so many of different cultures. Basically just destroying their education system, which in turn destroys their indigenous identity. And once the indigenous identity is destroyed in the child just completely loses faith in in upholding the culture and the tradition of his parents, of his or her parents, right? Because they will start hating them, right? There will not be any proud or feeling, or there will not be any self-pride at all in really having and continuing with the same traditions that your parents and forefathers or your teachers are asking you to do. So it's a very natural phenomenon. And that is exactly the tool that they have used for this cultural genocide. Very straightforward, subtle, but extremely poisonous, dangerous tool that was used for this cultural genocide of many indigenous cultures. And the kids, we are talking about what happened to Hindus. So that's what happened. Once you destroy it, now how exactly it happened? In the other education, the so-called modern schools, in the Macaulay schools, in the education, this literally started poisoning the kids against their Hindu ancestry, against the Hindu, what the real history was, completely teaching fake history, false history, treating the Puranas and Itihasas as myth, that it's not really true. None of this is true. It's just, fantasy. It's just fiction. It's just fairy tale. So making them slowly lose faith that it's really something real going on, right? Whole, power manifestation science, the knowledge of the Vedas, Agamas, Shad Darshanas, stopping completely. There is no mention of these things in the present education system, right?
Actually, in the modern researches, so many places we have actually found that these civilization, enlightenment ecosystems, and even the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, Dwaraka, existence of Dwaraka, Sri Krishna's abode, all of these have been documented. And exactly the way they are described.
Even Ram Setu, right?
Yes, even Ram Setu.
There's satellite images by NASA which prove that there is something like that.
Yes, so everything is already there. Everything, the exact way that is described in Puranas, which was thousands of years old. The Puranas are thousands of years old. And even for that also, we have this references. Even for that, we have evidence that the Puranas are thousands of years old. And we have the physical day mapping to those Puranas of the physical locations of those events happening on the planet Earth. So everything is magic, and it's not myth. It cannot be myth. There is no way that Ramayana, the great epic of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu's life, can become a myth. That is no way possible. Even Mahabharata, a few days ago, we just discussed about it. 100,000 couplets. No one can imagine that yet.
Exactly.
That is,
Exactly. But it's unfortunately, we are living in an era where in this power manifestation, all this, it looks like too much of fiction. It cannot be true. Even if they believe this, yes, it was true, but it might be true at that time. Now, right now, it's not true. That's where the Hindu gurus come in. That's where incarnations come in. They break this myth of considering all of that a myth. Right? They literally break this whole idea that all of this is not possible. This whole impossibility, they bulldoze, right? They literally show it in their flesh and blood and make you manifest the powers as well. That see, it is possible for you. Not just that it was possible for them. It's possible for you. That's how the Hindu gurus awaken this identity, Hindu identity in you. Practically, physically, from your very being. can start. Yes.
Yes, Maharaj. Also, one more thing. The Swamiji says this so powerfully that I am not here to prove that I am God. I am here to prove that you are God. Yes. That is the Hindu identity. That even though Swamiji has manifested all these powers, he is already the master of healing, master of power manifestation, all the powers which he has initiated. He is the master of all of it. But even then he says, I'm not here to prove that I am God. I'm here to prove that you are God, because that is the Hindu identity.
Yes, exactly.
Believing that we are the God is the Hindu identity. Yes. We know that we are the gods. We are Paramashiva. That is what we say. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. What does that mean? I am declaring that I am Paramashiva. That is the power manifestation.
Yes, that is.
Yes.
Yes, that is power manifestation. That is giving ourselves, our individual being, the superconscious breakthrough, manifesting superconscious powers and helping others to manifest, having this breakthrough and manifesting the superconscious powers as well. And that's exactly what Swamiji has come. He has descended on planet Earth. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has descended, landed on planet Earth exactly for this mission to give the superconscious breakthrough to the entire humanity. Literally be the current role model for modern human beings.
Yes.
You know, be the trendsetters and giving them a statement that Hinduism is real and all the Hindu history is real. None of it is mythology. None of it is fantasy. Each and everything that you have heard, that you have read in your scriptures, in your shastras, in your Puranas, in your Itihasas, each and every word is true, 110% true. He is literally showing it, you know, demonstrating it.
Yes.
By his very life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, in fact, that brings us to a point where we should, in fact, introduce the power manifestation session today. What do you think? So that people can also see the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Literally, when he initiates someone, they start manifesting these powers really in real life. And even you, it's the possibility for all powers. So let's have this session, Maharaj, and we will come back to this discussion of Hindu history and the in the requirement and the need to teach the right Hindu history for building the right Hindu identity.
Yes.
Right.
So all of you stay tuned. We are going to be having the power manifestation from the Balasant of the Nithyananda Gurukul. He's a graduate of the Nithyananda Gurukul. So we'll be having the divine power manifestation demo where all of you are going to witness the power manifestation right in front of you happening from the Balasant.
Yes, just stay tuned for a couple of minutes. You'll be shortly, right?
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
The nature of consciousness. The source of awareness. The relationship between our ego and the world. This has plagued us for generations. We strive to understand why we are the way we are. Why our reality is the way it is. Why our life is the way it is. But what if the way we see the world as separate from us is just an illusion? What if our consciousness exists before all experience and is not limited to the confines of our body and mind?
Today what I revealed is practically the whole Hinduism in a nutshell. If you make the column, you will see clearly most of your problems are internal non-understanding. When these internal non-understandings are cleared, life becomes Leela. You just manifest what you want. I'll make this as a realization in you all now through this initiation and darshan of Sadashiva.
Welcome you back with amazing power manifestation segment in our live episode today. So we have with us Srinivasa Shivashankarananda Maharaj, Nithyananda Maharaj.
Yes.
He is the graduate of KAILASA Nithyananda Gurukul, a power manifesting Balatan, who is going to demonstrate the superconscious powers directly to you in front of you, and even you can get involved through the comment section, and we invite all of you to comment to, we would love to hear from you what you think about it, any, feedback you want to give, anything you want to ask. Please feel free to come for a couple of minutes if I want to ask you. We are talking about Hindu history today, right? We were talking that how he to inculcate the right Hindu identity, the powerful Hindu identity in us. And Hindu identity, as you know, is basically power manifesting identity, right? Having the superconscious breakthrough, giving it to others, manifesting powers, making others manifesting powers. So I just want to ask you a simple question. Before getting initiated by Swamiji, by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, did you also go through similar doubts about whether this Hindu history is really true, whether these powers are really true?
I never knew, be more like straightforward. I never knew anything about Hindu history or powers or anything sort of that. I just know, just to pray to God or like pray to some deity, something good will happen in life. Okay. Nothing more than that. Just going to temple and once a week, a few days, just going and seeing the temples and just coming back in, some problems when, when you really face a problem, you go to some date, you just pray and it just something good happens. Nothing beyond that kind of boundary.
So there was no notion of I can manifest. If there's something called consciousness, I can manifest power. I can break into all these impossibilities. I can break all of them. None of that.
Yes, none of that.
That's what we are talking about, Maharaj. It's not just about the wrong history, even not knowing your history, right? Even that itself is such a huge, it's such a huge misfortune. Unfortunately for us, we're not even taught the right history, what our possibilities are. It's a possibility which was kept away from us, right? So that's what we are bringing today, that how Hindu gurus can revive and ignite this possibility, these powers in us, and so that we can grow and bloom in a powerful way with the right Hindu identity in us.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So coming back to power manifestation, Maharaj. So what are we going to manifest today? Which powers?
Like the basic most powers, which is third eye, we can do, and we can demonstrate that power to show something related to Hindu history. Let's like not more of speaking.
Really?
Let's,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you want to keep it something related to Hindu history.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, you're going to read blindfolded.
Yes.
So through the third eye, it's a third eye power where Shivashankara Maharaj is going to read blindfolded without the use of his two eyes. Through the third eye only, he is going to read whatever I am going to write on the paper.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So basically, I'm going to use these surgical eye patches on Shivashankara Maharaj's eyes so that they are completely blocked and he is not able to see anything through the two eyes. So let's just give me 1 minute so that I can put these eye patches on. And during this while, I'll urge all the viewers to also, if they want to ask him anything related to history, if they want to ask anything specific, I can write it on the piece of paper and he can read it out through his third eye. We are doing everything live in front of you so that nobody has any doubt that all these things is completely authentic. This demonstration is completely authentic. Yes. Okay. So as you can see, so Maharaj,
Yes.
Not able to see anything. Eyeballs are not even moving. As you said yesterday as well, right? That's what these eye patches do. So now the binocular vision, the two eyes completely blocked, you cannot see anything. Now, Maharaj, okay, let's start with something simple first. Yes. So this is a piece of paper I'm taking, completely blank. So I'm going to write something and let's see if Maharaj is able to read it. Something related to Hindu history, right? Okay. First, I will show it to the viewers. I hope they're able to see. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Maharaj.
Should I read it out?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So it's written Rama.
Wow. Exactly the word that I wrote. Okay, let's go further. Something from the history. All right. Okay. I'll not tell you is it a name of a person, place, anything. Okay. Something has something from the history. Okay. So this is the second word on the same page. First, I show it to the viewers. This is the word. Okay. Now you can see. And tell us what the word is, Maharaj.
The word is Dwarika.
How do you do that? Wow. Okay. But I want to go further. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. So Rama as Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, the incarnation of Sri Mahavishnu, the incarnation that happened in Treta Yuga. Dwarika is of course, the city, the capital, the kingdom of Sri Krishna himself during the Mahabharata era. And something more, if I can give. Third word. I'll show it to the public. This is the third word that I've written in the same piece of paper. The word. Okay. Maharaj, yes, we go ahead.
The word is Vyasa.
Vyasa. Wow. Veda Vyasa is the compiler of the Vedas and other scriptures in the scriptures in the Mahabharata. One more if I can give. This is interesting. I'll show it to the viewers. This is the word. Yes.
The word is, I think it's Shivaji.
Yes, exactly. Wow, Maharaj. Great. Shivaji, Chhatrapati Shivaji, one of the greatest Hindu kings who really consolidated the Hindu empire at his time and fought against the invaders. Wow, Maharaj, how do you do it? Really, it's so amazing to see you demonstrating these powers, superconscious powers, in front of the entire world with such confidence. The statement literally which you are making, that it is possible for you also, right? And one doubt I have, if you can clarify, Maharaj.
Yes.
Some people have this doubt that, these are not really Shakti or powers. They're kind of doubtful and fearful about them. You should not practice them. You should not, even if you have them, you should not, manifest them, because they might, stop you from enlightenment, or they might, infuse ego into you, something like that. So what do you want to tell me?
For all those who is having those doubts, or who is having inside them, but they are not expressing all these kind of questions, just one answer. Swamiji very beautifully tells that Swamiji, he tells that he will not reveal anything from him which is not validated from the Shastras, which is from the Vedas and Agamas, and after the Vedas and Agamas and Aptas, which is the rishis and the sages, munis, who are actually really manifesting either through siddhis or shaktis, both. And after that, it comes to the particular master itself. Like for us, it is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism who is actually and really manifested in his life, had a solid experience within him, and he's able to transmit it as a Sakshi Praman, as an evidence to all of us. Only when all this happens is actually the transmission happen. Without that, there is no experience. With Swamiji will not even, it's for him, everything is an experience. That I can't even tell that there's nothing in him that which he didn't experience or he has to experience. No, he has experienced everything beyond our imaginations. So basically, that's there's no thought of something is going to distract you, or not any sort of that. When you are connected with an incarnation or with an enlightened being, you will have the presence, Advaita means the oneness with him. You can feel it around his, his vibe or his presence. It's not a big theory of what these questions are.
Just that simple connection makes you manifest these powers.
Correct.
It's basically that oneness that is expressing. The more and more this oneness expresses, more and more you manifest powers.
Yes.
It's not something that you express on the way to enlightenment or on the way to oneness. It happens from that space itself.
Yes.
It's like he already built that space into you.
Yes.
Right? And more you manifest, more that space gets grounded more and more into you.
Correct.
Right? Such a beautiful experience, Maharaj, with you manifesting these powers live for our audience. Thank you. Thank you so much for
thank you.
doing this. Thank you. And we'll be coming right back. Please stay tuned a couple of minutes. Thank you.
The nature of consciousness. The source of awareness. The relationship between our ego and the world. This has plagued us for generations. We strive to understand why we are the way we are, why our reality is the way it is, why our life is the way it is. But what if the way we see the world as separate from us is just an illusion? What if our consciousness exists before all experience and is not limited to the confines of our body and mind?
Today what I revealed is practically the whole Hinduism in a nutshell. If you make the column, you will see clearly most of your problems are internal non-understanding. When these internal non-understandings are cleared, life becomes Leela. You just manifest what you want. I'll make this as a realization in you all now through this initiation and darshan of Sadashiva.
The nature of consciousness. The source of awareness. The relationship between our ego and the world. This has plagued us for generations. We strive to understand why we are the way we are. Why our reality is the way it is. Why our life is the way it is. But what if the way we see the world as separate from us is just an illusion? What if our consciousness exists before all experience and is not limited to the confines of our body and mind?
Today what I revealed is practically the whole Hinduism in a nutshell. If you make the column, you will see clearly most of your problems are internal non-understanding. When these internal non-understandings are cleared, life becomes Leela. You just manifest what you want. I'll make this as a realization in you all now through this initiation and darshan of Sadashiva.
Nithyananda, welcome back, all of you, to today's exciting episode on Hindu history and the importance of teaching the right Hindu history to the Hindu kids. We just had a magnificent power manifestation session, power manifestation demonstration by Shiva Shankara Maharaj, who literally demonstrated in front of the entire world that all this powerful science that the Hindu history teaches us, that the Hindu history tells and glorifies, all of that is true. Whatever powers there were in Puranas, in Itihasas, in Mahabharata, Ramayana, all these powers that were manifested by the enlightened beings or by incarnations, by even the great devotees, all of that is in fact true. Yes. It is possible even today, and it is possible for all of us. Yes. Right? And he, in fact, is the graduate of the KAILASA's Nithyananda gurukul, power manifesting Balasan. And from a very young age, he was given the right initiation. He was taught the right Hindu history. Because of that, he has that powerful Hindu identity, the power manifesting Hindu identity in him. Because of that, he's simply casually able to manifest so many powers just by remembering Swamiji, just by remembering his guru, just with the simple connection. He's simply able to manifest so many powers, so beautiful, and at the same time, so empowering. Yes. To see. That's exactly what we are talking about today, Maharaj. The importance of teaching the right history, first of all, which builds the right cognitions, the right identity in the Hindu child, and that can be done only by Hindu guru. Yeah, because he will prove the legitimacy, the authenticity of the Hindu history in flesh and blood. When it manifests the powers, he naturally will not have any doubt. He will not even think about going to any alternate school or what they are saying or what they are telling. He'll simply know, hey, all of this, whatever other people are saying, it doesn't make sense. It's all nonsense. Yeah. Because I am able to manifest powers. It is truth for me now. Right? Simply just by one power manifestation, whole false history just gets eliminated. Yes, in the kid. Right? It's not only that, it is the powerfulness with which the kids are living. Yes. It's like if you see outside, they live based on fear and greed. It's very clear when kids are living with fear and greed, when they're completely established in the space of completion, doing every action in that space, in that space of bliss. Yes, that innocence will be there in the kids, but
They will not be working to get something, some low mundane things in their life, try to achieve some small grades or try to get something, get some small fulfillments in their life or have temporary pleasures. It is divine pleasures. It's divine things that when you have a matured conversation with yourself, when you are having a mature conversation with yourself, mature conversation with life, you know how enjoyment the life becomes, how powerful the kids are living. That is what is the importance when they are brought up and taught by the Supreme Point of Hinduism in the Hindu way of education, which is the most powerful way of education for anyone who is living out there.
Yes. Would you say even power manifestation is in fact having a mature conversation with yourself?
Yes, power manifestation is literally actually having conversation with yourself and Paramashiva, because when you are declaring that, yes, I am establishing myself in the space of completion, I'm in the space of oneness with Swamiji, this is what I'm declaring, and anything that I'm declaring from that space, when I'm in the space of oneness and I'm declaring anything from that space of oneness, yes, I want to manifest this in my life. I want to manifest this power. I want to manifest this. I want to manifest the power of height increasing. Any power you manifest, any power you declare, that simply just manifests. Like if you have seen Ramayana, just Lord Hanuman will just declare Jai Shri Ram, means he's chanting the name of his guru, he's chanting the name of his who he is devoted to.
His Ishtadevata.
Yes, his Ishtadevata. He is establishing himself in the space of oneness with Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. And he's deciding to manifest anything in his life, whether he wants to grow big or he wants to become small, fly, anything. He just says Jai Shri Ram and he does it. And that just simply manifests. That is what we are taught in Hinduism. That is what we think. This does not go in that. It actually manifests. The manifestation is real, and you do manifest powers by just declarations, and that is how you will live your life.
Yes.
The most powerful way.
Exactly. Even the way when you are even talking about Hanuman, about Lord Ram, see, this proves the fact that you have been brought up with the authentic Hindu history by Swamiji. He taught you the real history, and then to prove that it is true with his own powers, with his own initiations, making you manifest the powers. That's exactly how Hindu gurus literally keep the Hindu history alive, authentic, relevant, and continuing for the future generations as well, right? But unfortunately, because even from the last 2000 years, which the Hindu Holocaust, the genocide the Hindus have faced, even, so much of attacks on even Hindu kings, but nobody, how Hindu kings even fought back, nobody told us.
Yes.
They have fought back so bravely for hundreds and hundreds of years. They have stopped these invaders from, invading, because they would have invaded much long back than what they invaded actually. But they're resisting them with such a strong force and power and valor. It is really the valor of our Hindu kings, which nobody talks about. We don't even know, right? Even till today, so many Hindu kings, great kings have happened throughout our history. Nobody knows. We don't even know. But all we see in our history books is glorification of the invaders, glorification of the colonizers. Even now, psychologically, we are being brainwashed that not just the history, but the entire culture of the colonizers, of the so-called masters, is superior. And our culture, our roots, our history, our philosophy, our knowledge, our tradition, our roots are inferior, right? It brings self-hate into us. It brings inferiority complex into us. Basically, we don't even want to be Hindu anymore. That is unfortunate thing happening to all the Hindus, all the Hindu kings, all the Hindu kids, I'm sorry. So only way to break this is when the Hindu guru in his Hindu ecosystem, powerful enlightenment ecosystem, brings up the kids, Hindu kids, grooms them with the proper real Hindu history, the authentic Hindu identity, the powerful Hindu identity through initiation, giving them the superconscious breakthrough, making them manifest powers. It is only through that the real Hindu identity can be kept alive. And Hinduism itself can be kept alive.
Yes. Hinduism is kept alive through the kids. Any tradition, if you see, is kept alive through the kids because they are the future. And how they are molded is how that is going to take the Hinduism in the future. Like Swamiji is keeping literally the whole Hinduism. Swamiji is taking, he's protecting it through the Nithyananda gurukul. All of us who have been brought up by him directly through KAILASA, through the Nithyananda gurukul, where he has molded all of us into the true identity of Hinduism by teaching us the true history. When we are taught the true history, we are automatically building that identity for ourselves. There is nothing else that needs to be done. Just giving the knowledge of the true history is enough. So any parent, any Hindu parent who's out there, just make sure that you're teaching your children the right Hindu history. That is very important for you, and for your child to have a bright future and the best future. Because Hinduism has the most powerful identity where we are declaring ourselves as Paramashivam, and you have to teach that to your kids. So,
and it also has utility value.
Yes, it has
real outer world utility value
as well. Actual real world outer
Yesterday
world
that we talked.
Yes, take about this. If you have not watched, you can go and watch this. Yes, the power of Hindu identity is the title. You can go and watch that also, where we have spoken and discussed about the Hindu identity. Yes, Maharaj, this is the most important thing that all the parents can give to their child as well. The true Hindu history, which will mold their future with a true Hindu identity and the most powerful identity anyone can have.
Exactly, but much more than parents. Ultimately, the Hindu gurus, right? It is only because of them, their power manifestation science that has to be kept alive. Through that, only the real legitimacy, the authenticity of the Hindu history will be established even in the kid, even in the individual level, right? So even when you are talking about Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how he is molding and grooming the kids in this gurukul, it is important for us to even speak about the persecution that he has gone through. That even the KAILASA's Nithyananda Gurukul has gone through. So much of persecution. Not being allowed to just to maintain the gurukul, to teach the Hindu kids their own identity, their own values, right? Their own sciences, which have been passed on to them from their ancestors, which they have a right to learn, right? Which they have a right to manifest and at least to know their identity, at least to know the Hindu identity, even not giving them that right. That is the worst persecution that has happened with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Himself has gone through so much of persecution, and even the Gurukul that he was running, even till now, it's so much of persecution happening. It's important for us to understand that why, because how this Hindu identity has to be, nurtured. It not only requires just some cultural freedom, religious freedom. It requires now something more, something legal, a legal protection. It also requires a political freedom. It also requires a sovereign territory, because it is not possible for a Hindu guru to maintain a proper, authentic Hindu ecosystem anywhere, unfortunately. So that's why a Hindu nation is required. A Hindu nation is the necessity. It is the need of our time today, even to save the Hindu kids from losing this powerful Hindu identity. To inculcate this Hindu identity, to foster this strong, powerful Hindu identity into them, to teach them the real history of their ancestors, to teach them the glory of their ancestors, who they really were, how powerful they were, right? Even any of these, our ancestors, name anyone. So much of powerfulness.
So much of powerfulness. Anyone you can take, any Hindu history, any person who you see in the Hindu epics like Mahabharata, Ramayana, and other Hindu Puranas which are there, anywhere you see, it is just life positivity, and ultimate power manifestation. Anywhere you see, there will be this guru-disciple relationship, whether you see Ramayana, whether you see Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, you can see Arjuna and Sri Krishna, what kind of relationship they had. Just so sweet, so beautiful, so amazing. These kind of things is what Hindu identity is about. That is where you build your identity. That is the most powerful identity anyone in the world can have, which is through the guru-disciple relationship, which everyone needs to have. Which is the most powerful way to live.
Exactly. Because Hinduism itself is Guru Shishya Parampara. And to save the Guru Shishya Parampara, we need a Hindu nation. We need a Hindu nation today. And that is exactly what Swamiji is doing. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is doing through the revival of KAILASA, the first nation for all Hindus. And in fact, if you support KAILASA, the first Hindu nation, you are in fact supporting the future of Hindu children. You are literally investing in the future of Hindu children. So we have some comments today coming up. Many comments today coming up. Very excited. So do you want to share a couple of these comments?
Yes, Maharaj. So we have comment from Arun Dikshit. He has asked how to get KAILASA citizenship. So you can get KAILASA citizenship through scanning for the KAILASA's free citizenship, which is there in the QR code. So please scan the QR code to get your free citizenship.
The e-citizenship QR code is being projected. There are multiple QR codes that are being projected on the bottom of the screen. So you can scan the QR code related to the e-citizenship of KAILASA to become the e-citizen of the digital KAILASA digital nation. Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj. So we have a few more comments. We have Vail Servi. Jai Hindu Rashtra. He's telling Jai Hindu Rashtra. Yes, Hindu Rashtra is the best. Swamiji is establishing the first nation for Hindus, and which is KAILASA.
KAILASA is the first Hindu Rashtra.
Yes, KAILASA is the first Hindu Rashtra. Yes. And then we have Jagan H. I want to come to KAILASA. Yes. For you as well, you can scan the QR code for signing up and registering yourself for the free KAILASA's free e-citizenship. Please scan the QR code and sign up for the free e-citizenship. And we have another comment from B Reddy. Wonderful discussion. Continue to show Swamiji Satsang in between. Yes, we will be having Swamiji Satsang as well after this. So you can stay tuned to watch Swamiji Satsang as well. If we are having the satsang, so you also, there was a satsang you can watch on the, which was on the April 14th, which was about the AI. You can go and watch that satsang as well. Yes, which was on the artificial intelligence. And please comment as well if you have anything to comment which is relevant to this. Anything that you want to let us become, you can become part of our discussion. We would like to have a conversation with you where you are sharing your inputs, your ideas of what you think that about what we are sharing. You can share that, and we will be happy to take your comments and answer your questions if you have any.
And we will consider your suggestion of including Swamiji's satsang clips in between.
Yes,
we'll be looking forward to it.
Yes.
So, and also if you want to personally experience this conscious breakthrough in your own life, manifest these super conscious powers in your own life, we invite you to scan the QR code for Paramashivoham that is being projected at the bottom of the screen. Paramashivoham program is the program that is personally being taken by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, who will be personally guiding each and every participant, who will be personally initiating each and every one of you into the ultimate Paramadvaita, and you manifest the superconscious powers, which which literally is the purpose of his very life, and bringing you to all the gifts, great gifts from Sanatana Hindu Dharma.
Yes, Maharaj. So I think we have come to the end of today's beautiful discussion that we had in the NTV session. Do you want to share anything else, Maharaj?
Basically, yes, we are ourselves so much, enjoying these discussions, and I hope people are also liking the content that we are sharing. If you do like the content that we share, we urge you to please give us a thumbs up and share this content with more and more people, so that more and more people can get enriched by what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, his message, his teachings, his purpose, why he's doing what he's doing, so that it can reach as many people as possible. And we would also like you to subscribe to this channel if you have not, and please do not forget to press the bell icon to continue to receive notification of any upcoming events and upcoming videos. So yes, that's it, Maharaj, for today.
Maharaj. Yes,
okay, thank you so much for being a part of this discussion, and we would love to continue having these wonderful discussions with you in the future as well. So for today, let's end with the Purna Mantra.
Yes, Maharaj. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.